Hello boys and girls, a very good evening and welcome to this live doubts clarification session on quantitative aptitude brought to you by Talent Sprint. I hope all of you are in the pink of your health and you are preparing well for your upcoming bank and SSC exams, right? Today's session, like you all know, is on the quantitative aptitude doubts clarification, where we have chosen some unanswered questions from the discussion forums of both the quantitative aptitude course in bank exam prep program and the quantitative aptitude course in the SSC exams prep program, and we'll be solving those questions here today. But before we begin, let's quickly start with some general discussion here. For the benefit of those who have recently enrolled in our programs, let me mention that there is a chat box available right beside your video screen, which you can use to interact with us during this live session. I'm sure a lot of you are new to these sessions. I was looking at the chat just before going live, and I think some of you had mentioned that this is Saroj's first session. So welcome Saroj and all others who have enrolled recently. I wish you all the very best for your preparation and for your exams, right? So like I mentioned, there is a chat box available next to the video screen. So use that to interact with us, and if there's any query, any question at any point of time, feel free to post it there, right? But not subject related questions, because subject questions would be answered only to the discussion forum. I can see that a lot of you have joined the chat already. Let me read out a few names. We have Vaishnavi here, Shushant Singh, who says the preparation is going excellent. Then Naman Agarwal and Amit Negi, right? We also have Smriti Priyanka, Rudra Aditya Mohanty. By the way, Amit Negi has posted something here. Can we post questions related to SSC CGL in doubts sessions, especially maths? Well, of course you can. Amit Negi, if you have enrolled for our SSC exam prep program, you are free to post questions from the quantitative aptitude subject of SSC exams in the respective course there, right? And we will take it up during these live sessions. By the way, I would like to mention before we move further is that we have ensured that from this week itself, right, from Monday onwards, I'm sure all the students who have enrolled for SSC exams prep would have realized that they are now open, or they are now allowed for 3 live sessions every week as against 1 live session. Yes, I repeat, earlier there used to be only 1 live doubts clarification session for SSC exam prep students, right, which was on Saturdays, every Saturday at 6 p.m. They were not allowed for the Tuesdays and Thursdays sessions, right? Those are only for bank exam prep guys. But keeping in mind the valuable feedback that we have got from you, and also the fact that the SSC CGL exam is coming closer now. It's tentatively scheduled for August, first couple of weeks of August. We have decided that we will have all the students get the access to these live sessions, all the 3 live sessions every week, right? So that's one major change that has been done, and I'm sure with this you as a SSC student can get more of your questions answered, right? So it's directly tripled. As against 1, it is 3 sessions now. All right, so please make sure that you keep posting your questions related to quantitative aptitude or general intelligence and reasoning or English comprehension in the respective courses that you have got, and we will choose questions from those forums as well. All right. Yeah, so I was looking at all those who have enrolled in started chatting with us, right? We have Brunda, Anil Kiran, Satish, Praveen Piyush, Atish, Sushant Singh, Saroj Kumar, Amit Kumar, right? And we have Kiran Usha, Hani Singh, and many others there, right? Good to see you all joining us in this session. Well, it's usually believed that Saturday's evening is not meant for preparation, but your presence motivates us, right? The fact that so many of you are here in the session today, motivates all of us to continue doing these live sessions. In fact, like I mentioned in the last session as well, this was meant to be a session on doubts clarification on English language, but unfortunately Sylvia is not available because she has met with a minor accident, but she'll be back soon. She's all safe, she is in good health now, but needs a little bit of time to get full recovery from the bruises that she's got. But don't worry, next week you will have your Sylvia ma'am back taking your sessions on English language, right? So can we get started now? Yeah, we have many others who have joined: Rishika Menon, Nitish Raj, Rudraditya Mohanty, Shrinu, Suresh, and others. Okay, so how is the preparation? I think that was the question. Only one of you had answered that is going excellent. How about others? Shomu Banerjee says SS is almost knocking the door. Tanya says, how is she now? Tanya and all others, Sylvia is doing well now. She'll be fully recovered by next week, early next week. Amit Negi has mentioned that please arrange special SSC Math live doubts clarification sessions. Well, Amit, this is on cards. We are discussing ways that we can do exclusive sessions for quantitative aptitude of SSC CGL exam, right? We'll anyway do that once we come closer to the exam, but we are planning to do a few more sessions in this month and next month as well, right? So we'll update you about those details. I don't want to commit anything unless it has been finalized, but don't worry, you will have some exclusive sessions for SSC CGL exam as well. Yeah, so Deepak says it's good, Saroj says it's not good, Satish says it's good. I usually don't like these one-word answers, right? I mean, you have to tell me what's happening, right? How is it going? Well, good technically is a right answer, not good is also a right answer, but yeah, I was looking for some elaborative response there. Praveen Piyush has mentioned, as per SSC, not much nice preparation, especially maths. Well, I'm glad that you at least know that your preparation is not going nice and you have to work harder, right? We have another 2 months for the exam, right? Like I said, it is scheduled from August 1 to August 20 tentatively. So, and I'm sure in these 2 months you can do enough and you know, get fully ready for the exam. Sushant Singh says, give her best wishes to her and also wish her to get well soon. Well, yes, I think I am sure Sylvia is getting all your wishes there. She'll be back soon. Nitish Raj says, yeah, work is in progress. Tanya says, can we expect 4-5 RBI grade B mocks this week? Well, Tanya, I know that the RBI grade B exam is coming up, and well, I am afraid that I am not sure about how many RBI grade B mock tests have been published, but let me tell you that we'll be publishing 10 full-length RBI grade B mock exams overall, right? So just make sure that you visit the practice site that we have, and there's this button on the top right, which says click here to get all the relevant tests. So just hit that button and I'm sure you will get all the tests there, right? In fact, this weekend's All-India mock exam is also in the RBI grade B pattern, right? What we conduct every Saturday and Sunday is also in the RBI grade B pattern. So make sure that all of you go take that exam. And of course, we have one exam in the form of SSC CGL there. Right, anything else there? We also have Snigdha Rani and Kuldeep Vishkarma. Good evening, guys. Welcome to this session. So, doubts clarification on quantitative aptitude. If there are no general queries, no general questions, we can move to solving the questions here, right? I think I had given an update in the last session, a long update in fact, in the last session. I would not like to repeat that and waste our valuable time. But in a nutshell, I think the points that I had made was the banking and general awareness course has been revamped completely. You can find about 80 plus new videos there done by GVK. So please explore that and share your feedback. So has been the case with the general awareness course of SSC exam as well, right? There also we have not really added new videos, but yes, made some changes which will help your learning enhance, and it will be a lot more effective going forward. And yes, another major change that has been done among all these other changes is that we have added a new course called Today's Preparation. I don't know how many of you have got an opportunity to go through that course, but I would like to get some feedback on that before we start solving these questions, because that feedback is very valuable for us in the further development of that course and making it more effective for you guys. So very quickly, if you can share your thoughts on the Today's Preparation course that has been added to your account, right? I explained you all about this course in the last session, Today's Preparation, right? It'll actually guide you towards your goal of achieving your bank job, right? It'll tell you today you got to do these things, right? You learn these topics and you prepare on these topics, you attend these exams and things like that. right? So let me not get into details. I'm sure most of you have gone through that. Share your feedback and share your thoughts. One major feedback that we had got in the last session was that it should, the topic test that we have there, the subject test that we have inside the daily today's preparation course should have a timer, which we are working on. Very soon it will fall in place. And yes, another change that we have done with that is added a speed math test also. So yeah, I think last session also we got a feedback that it was good, and it's nice to have a daily plan. But anything in specific that you'd like to mention? I'm sure a lot of you have checked that later on. Ramesh Akula has posted something. He says, can we get personal feedback? Personal, what did you say? Personal feedback? Sorry. He said personal guidance. Well, Ramesh, I think we are doing something to automate the whole process, where you will be able to track your own performance in terms of learning and the type of test that you're taking. But yes, we need some time for that. However, having said that, we have Tia here who can help you with some personal guidance, right? So Tia will help you track your performance in all these All India mock exams and guide you accordingly. So I would strongly recommend you to follow the suggestions given by Tia and incorporate those feedback in your learning, so that you see that improvement, right? I'm directly preparing for SSC mains. I can easily qualify for preliminary. That's good to hear, Amit. Real change starts from SSC CGL mains this time. I do not want to miss this time. Well, I'm glad that you are serious about it, and I'm sure if you do the right things, you will come out with flying colors. Satish says in the topic test, the number of questions are less. Okay, so that's one feedback. We'll see what can be done about it. Sai Krishna has mentioned expecting a general knowledge daily test for SSC preparation. Well, I think that's really valuable. I would request our support team to make a note of this, that there should be a daily test on general knowledge as well. That should help. Yeah. Okay, nothing much, I guess. I'll just wait for maybe 5 more seconds, 10 more seconds to see if I get more feedback. A couple of important points have come up. One is the general knowledge daily test and more number of questions. There should be more questions there. And among the other things, I would also like to mention that we have changed the technical infrastructure here, which is used for conducting these live sessions. I'm sure you're finding the quality of live sessions a lot better now since the last session as against what it was earlier, right? You can also find this logo coming on top here, which was not available otherwise, right? So yeah, that again is improvement. Chal, I think we have got enough feedback. Let's start now. So what I'll do now is share my screen with you all and present the questions to you. So here we go. So the problem solving session on quantitative aptitude actually starts now with these problems that we are going to discuss. So let's start. The first question on your screens. Now, all right, so here's the first one. This was posted by Roshni. Let's see how many of you are able to crack this. So Roshni has posted this question, which says, according to a plan, a team of woodcutters decided to harvest 216 meter cube of wheat in several days. In the first 3 days, the team fulfilled the daily assignment, and then it harvested 8 meter cube of wheat over and above the plan every day. Therefore, a day before the planned date, they had already harvested 232 meter cube of wheat. How many cubic meters of wheat a day did the team have to cut according to plan? So that's an interesting one, right? you have to use the concept of time and work here, because it's about finishing some work in a stipulated time, right? So I'll leave you with this question for about a minute. This is certainly not something that we have discussed in the past. I mean, not that it is difficult, you can solve this question yourself, but yeah, a new type of question or a new question type. So you have at least a minute to try this, and your time starts now. Waiting for your responses. Trying. Okay, Amit Verma says he's trying. I have got no other response as yet. Waiting for at least a few responses before we begin. I'm sure this is not so difficult that you cannot get the answer at all. Okay, Shushant Singh and Sai Krishna have got 24 as the answer. Good. Glad to see that. Waiting for others. Rishika has also got 24. All right, answers have started coming in now. And who else? Only 3 of you. Yes, Omar Toshif has also got 24, and I think I've given you enough time, guys. So we can start discussing now. But before that, I want to understand what are others doing. I'm coming back to the video for a few seconds. We've got a few responses. I think 4 of you: Rishika, Sushant, Omar Toshif, and Sai Krishna. They've all got 24. Piyush has also got 24. So one good thing is that all of you have got the same answer. Right or wrong, we'll figure it out as we start solving it. But how about others? Kiran has also got 24. What are others doing? I mean, at least tell me that you've skipped, you're not able to solve it, it's too difficult, you're stuck, you don't know what to do, it's very complicated, it's very difficult, just mention something so that I get to know what do you guys are through. And I think the feedback that I see here is that while you have solved it, you're not very happy with your solution. Maybe you have done something lengthy there, right? Deepak says not able to solve. How about others? Not getting the answer. Balaji is not getting the answer. Tanya says she has used elimination. Saroj Kumar, Raji, Rudra, Arpita, Shrinu, Naman Agarwal. You're not able to solve. Well, I am actually a little disappointed. I thought many of you will be able to crack this. And this is what is probably happening in the exams these days, right? I mean, whether it is bank or SSC exam, I think the level of questions has gone up, right? The type of questions that are being asked these days is like at least a couple of notches higher than what it used to be last year or the year before. And I think this is something you should be able to do it. It's all about understanding the question and framing that one equation. You just do that one equation and you get going. Praveen Piyush says time and work में यही हो जाता है with me often. क्या हो जाता है नहीं पता है, मतलब I am not able to follow. Praveen, time and work में क्या हो रहा है आपके साथ? Time ज़्यादा लग रहा है या work ही नहीं हो रहा है? Yeah, Sumati Anandan has also not got the answer. Nitish Raj is also struck. Amit Verma is struck. So I think let's start discussing it now. Clearly, many of you have failed to crack this. Let's solve this and see what the right answer is. So here we go. So back to the screen now. This question was posted by Roshni. Now look at this. It says, according to a plan, a team of woodcutters decided to harvest 216 meter cube of wheat in several days. In the first 3 days, the team fulfilled the daily assignment and then it harvested 8 meter cube of wheat over and above the plan every day. Therefore, a day before the planned date, they had already harvested 232 meter cube of wheat. How many cubic meters of wheat a day did the team have to cut according to the plan? So if you understand the question, let me use a pen here. There is this plan. Okay. Let's use a different, yeah. So there's this plan where a team of woodcutters decided to harvest what? 216 meter cube of wheat in several days. Now what is the number of days is not known to us. But look at it, the amount of work to be done is 216 meter cube. That's the work in some number of days. Let's assume D days, right? Let's assume the number of days is D. Now in the first three days, the team fulfilled the daily assignment, which means they worked with the right capacity. And then after that, it harvested 8 meter cube of wheat over and above the plan every day. You getting it? They had some plan to harvest some quantity of wheat every day, right? Like here it is 216 meter cube overall. They said they will do it in D days. So first 3 days they worked accordingly. But after that they've increased their capacity, right? They have harvested 8 meter cube of wheat over and above the plan every day. So this is extra. What is extra? 8 meter cube of extra harvesting is happening every day. Therefore, a day before the planned date, so they had some plan to finish it in D days, right? A day before the planned date, which means in 1 day less, they had already harvested 232 meter cube of wheat. Now understand, their actual work to be done was 216, but they have ended up doing 232, and that too a day before the planned date. So you understand, they have taken 1 day less to do some extra work. To finish not only the work given but also some additional work there. So how many cubic meters of wheat a day did the team have to cut according to the plan? How many cubic meters of wheat? So what is the per day work that the team had actually planned to harvest every day, to cut every day? So that's the overall question here, right? Total work to be done is 216. They have decided to do it in D days. First 3 days they work accordingly, but after that they increase their capacity. They do 8 meter cube of extra work every day and end up doing 232 total work in 1 day less than the total number of planned T days. So what was the initial plan? How many meter cube of wheat to be cut per day is the question here, right? Now very easy to solve. See, we know that the total work to be done is 216, right? Look at it. You don't have to write all these steps in the exam, just for the sake of explanation I'm putting it up, right? Total work to be done is 216. Total number of days that we have is D, right? So work per day What is the work per day that they need to do? 216 by D. Yes or no? 216 by D. So let's say if they want to do it in, let's say 2 days. So 216 by 2, 108 meter cube per day. If they want to do it in 4 days, 216 by 4, 54 meter cube per day, 54 cubic meter per day. So that's basically the requirement, right? Now what happened? In the actual case, what happened? Just understand. For the first 3 days, the team fulfilled the daily assignment. What is the daily assignment? See, this becomes the daily assignment now. You understand? This is the daily assignment. 216 by D is a daily assignment. So for the first 3 days, they worked according to the daily assignment. So how much of work is over? See, 216 by D can be done per day. In 3 days, they will do 3 into 216 by D. So this is one part of the work. After that, what happened? After that, they've increased their capacity by how much? 8. So earlier they were doing 216 by D. Now they are doing 216 by D plus 8. 216 by D plus 8. 216 by D plus 8. For how many days? See, in the first part, they work for 3 days. In the second part, they are doing this much of work per day, but for how many days is the question? D minus 3 minus 1 days. Now understand why minus 3 minus 1. Clearly, total number of days required is D. They have already worked for 3 days. So this they will be doing for remaining D minus 3 days. But we also know that they have finished the work in a day before the planned date. So that means they have taken 1 day lesser than the actual requirement, and that too they did not do 216 total, they have done 232 total. 232. You're able to follow? Very simple. 216 by D is per day's work. 216 by D is the total number of days. So per day 216 by D. For the first 3 days they worked accordingly. So 3 into 216 by D. Plus after that they are doing 8 meter cube of work extra each day, right? So 216 by D is the original requirement plus 8. For how many days? See, if it is, let's say if they finish it in the required time, not a day before or day later, we will say D minus 3 because they have already finished 3 days of work, right? Now this is D minus 3 days. But they have actually taken 1 day lesser than the planned date. So D minus 3 minus 1. And it should not be balanced with 216. 216 was the original work. This is actually the total work, total original work, I would say. This is total original work. What's the total done work? Total done work is 232. You understand? Total work done. Total work done is not 216. Total work done is 232. You have to keep this in mind. That's it. One equation, one variable, solve and get the answer. What will you get? You'll get the number of days. But he's not asking you to find out the number of days. The question here is how many cubic meters of wheat a day did the team have to cut according to the plan? So this answer will be equal to 216 by D. So basically we have to find out what is 216 by D. Right? I mean, if I know the number of days that they need, they will be able to solve it. I mean, if you know the number of days that they will need to finish the work, then we can say per day they will do 216 by D. That's the whole idea. So we are trying to solve the number of days here. Solve for the number of days here. So that one equation, solve and get the answer. This is one way of doing it. Again, do not go by the length of the explanation or the number of steps that I've put on paper. I mean, if you really look at it, I don't think all this is to be put on paper. This is just your mental understanding, right? Total original work 216, we know it's given in the question. Total days, D is an assumption. Work per day 216 by D, obviously. Total work done 232, again given in the question. So all these need not be put on paper. All you have to write on paper is this equation and solve for D. Once you solve for D, take 216 by D as an answer. Otherwise, the other way to do it is go by the options. You can also use the options, but options have been given in a different way. I mean, you cannot substitute the option in place of D. Remember, if you try to substitute 12, 13, 24, 25, 26, options one after the other in place of D, you will not be able to get the right answer. Because options are nothing but 216 by D. Yes or no? We have realized that 216 by D is the actual answer. So what is given in the options is all 216 by D. 216 by D. Right? 216 by D. Of course, you can eliminate some options here directly if you want to go by that, but you can also solve the equation. So let's try and solve the equation first and then we'll go by options. I'll tell you how to use options as well. Let's solve for this first. Okay, of course, it will lead to a quadratic equation. You'll have to, deal with that. There's no other way out. So this is like 3 into 216 by D, right? So that becomes how much? Sorry, I think I have to use the right color. Yeah. Yeah, so 3 into 216 by D. So this is like 3 into 200 is 600 and 16 into 3 is 48. So 648 upon D plus. This is 216 by D plus 8. So 216 plus 8D. 216 plus 8D upon d into d minus 4. I know this would be a little time consuming, but there's no other way out, right? I mean, you go by options instead. I mean, if you don't want to do this. Yeah, so solve for this quadratic equation. D is the LCM very clearly. So you can actually, D is the LCM in both together. You can cancel out D and multiply D here, 232D. And now solve for it. So 648 plus 216D plus 8D square minus 216 into 4 minus 8D into 4 equals to 232, right? So very quickly, 648 plus 216D plus 8D square minus 216 into 4 is how much? 800, 864 minus 864, and 8D into 4 is minus 32D, right? 8D into 4, 8D into minus 4, minus 32 equals to 232D. Sorry, this is 232. I mean, you can still cut down a few steps if you can add up terms directly here, right? So what's the next step then? 8D square. Now this minus 32D, if you actually see this 216D and 216, what are the terms with D here? 216D minus 32D, and this goes on the other side, it becomes minus 232D. So 216D minus 232D will give you minus 16D. Minus 16D and minus 32D is minus 48D, right? So we will be left with what? 8D square minus 48D, and then the constant values are 648 and 864. So take the difference now. 864 minus 648. How much is 864 minus 648? Let's subtract 700. So 164 plus 52. So 166 and what was it? Sorry, 50. Yeah, 166 and 50. So 216 minus 216 equals to 0. Right? I know it looks time consuming and lengthy for 1 mark, but maybe this question carries a weightage of 2 marks with the changed pattern of exams these days. And do not go by the actual length. I am explaining this. I am not solving this. I am explaining this, so it's taking longer. So take 8 common. I think all are divisible by 8, right? 160 plus 56. Yeah. So 8 ones, 8 6, and how many times? 160 plus 56, 27. Right? So finally we get D square minus 6D minus 27 minus 6D minus 27 equals 0. I think minus 9n plus 3, right? Minus 9n plus 3 will give you the answer. So D will come out to be either 9 or 3. I mean, D will come out to be 9 or minus 3. You know that number of days cannot be negative, so minus 3 is ruled out. Yes or no? You substitute minus 3, it satisfies. So minus 3, if you substitute, this becomes 9, this becomes 18. 9 and 18, 27, minus 27. If you substitute 9, 81 minus 9, 6 is, yeah, 54, 27, yeah, correct. So 9 and minus 3 is the answer, but number of days cannot be negative, so hence 9 days. Final answer is 9 days. I mean, not the final answer, but number of days is 9 days. You getting it? 9. Now, what's the actual question? The actual question is 216 by D, right? How many cubic meters of wheat did the team have to cut according to the plan? So according to the plan, it should be 216 by D. So 216 upon 9. How much is 216 by 9? This is 180 plus 36, so 24. 24 is the answer. Final answer. Option 3, 24 is the final answer. So I think this is the solution, but yeah, you try and cut it down, cut down the time required by reducing the number of steps, or reducing these terms that you put on paper. It's all about your understanding of the equations now. Right, so that's one way of solving it. Let's now look at what else can be done to get the answer. Right, so let me show you the other way of solving this question now. I'll just clear this part, the left hand side part, so that we have. Right, 24 is the answer we have already established using the regular process, but let's now go by substitution. So substitution is again easier way of getting the answer. So this is regular method, let me say, and substitution method. Now, how do you use the substitution method? Simple. I mean, again, this equation is important. There also, the equation is important. You have to frame the equation, but you need not solve the equation. The advantage is without solving the full equation, you may be able to eliminate some options and find out which is the correct answer. Now, like I've told you already, we have understood that 216 by D is what is given in the options. 216 by D is what is given in the options. So according to option 1, 216 by D equals 12. So that should mean that D is equal to what? See, try to find out the value of D from this and substitute that D back here. Then it will become a lot easier for us to solve this, right? So 216 by D equals to 12. So D will be equal to what? 216 by 12. What is 216 by 12? 216 by 12 will be 18. D equals to 18. Yes or no? D equals to 18. Now substitute 18 here. So see, 216 by D is 12. I mean, see, already you know that this is, you understand? From the option, we know that 216 by D is 12. From that, D comes out to be 18. Now substitute that. This is 12. You're able to follow? I'm substituting back in this equation. I'm substituting 216 by D equals to 12 and D equals to 18 in this equation now. So what do we get? 3 into 12 plus 216 by D is 12. 12 plus 8, 20. 20 into D minus 4. D is 18. 18 minus 4 is 14. Equals to 232. Is it correct? See, 20 into 14 itself is 280. 280 plus something will not be 232, right? So this is wrong. This is not balanced. Hence option 1 is wrong. Similarly, if you substitute option 2, now you don't have to do this for all the options. Again, you will understand that when you substitute option 2, 216 by D according to option 2 equals to 13. But from this, we get to know that D comes out to be non-integer value, right? D will be equal to what? 216 by 13. What is 216 by 13? 10 plus 86, right? 86 is not divisible by 13, right? 86 is not divisible by 13. So this will result in what? Non-integer value. Hence, this cannot be the answer. See, number of days has to be an integer value. It cannot be a non-integer value here. We are talking, I mean, usually it is an integer value. So this also gets eliminated. Right? Then you substitute maybe 24. You will find that yes, 24 satisfies. I mean, if you substitute 216 by D equals to 24, D comes out to be what? 216 by 24, 9. So option 3. I mean, of course, we know option 3 is the correct answer, but I'm just showing you the verification for that, right? So according to option 3, 216 by D equals 24. Implies what is the value of D? D comes out to be 216 by 24, which is 9. Substitute these two terms now. 24 and 9 in this equation. So what do we get? 216 by D 24. So 3 into 24 plus 3 to 24. Now this is what? 24 plus 8, 32. 32 into 9 minus 4, 5. 32 into 5. How much is this? Is it 232 or not? Check. So 3 into 24 is 72. 32 into 5 is 160. 72 into 160 is 232. Yes, balanced. Since this is balanced, I can now say that yes, 24 is the correct answer. Similarly, if at all you have to eliminate, see 25 and 26 also will get eliminated directly. Why? Because 216 by 25 is a non-integer value. Number of days cannot be non-integer. 216 by 26 also will be non-integer value. So if you actually see, the elimination method or substitution method is very easy, because option 2, option 4 and option 5 directly get eliminated since it is giving us a non-integer value for number of days. The only two options that we'll have to verify is 12 and 24. 12 we will know that it's not satisfied. So obviously 24 has to satisfy. So that's the way you go with options and get the answer really quick. All right. I hope all of you have followed this. Quickly give me the feedback and then we can move to the next question. Did you all follow this? In my view, even the other method is, regular method is not very lengthy. I mean, I explained it in detail, so it has taken a little bit of time, but when you do it yourself, it's like 1 minute, which is good enough in my view. Right? So all those who have not been able to get it, tell me, is there anything new in this question? No. It's the general understanding of time and work, which gave us the answer. It'll take 1 minute in the exam. I don't think it'll take 2 minutes, but yeah, definitely 1 minute and worth it. I mean, for 1 mark, you can spend 1 minute, right? I mean, not that for every question we need 1 minute. There will be questions which can be cracked in 10 seconds also, but for every question we cannot have a shortcut that way. Got it? Shall we go for the next one now? All right, so I think we have spent time to get the answer to this one. Let's now move to the next question. So let me present the next question to you all. Here we go. So here's the next question. This was posted by Shubham. This also is on time and work. Let's see. A group of workers can complete a certain job in 9 days, but it so happens that every alternate day starting from the second day, 2 workers are withdrawn from the job. And every alternate day starting from the third day, 1 worker is added to the group. In such a way, the job is finished by the time there is no worker left. If it takes double the time to finish the job now, find the number of workers who started the job. Wow. Now that's again an interesting one. We have not seen such questions. I mean, we have not tried such questions in the past. Not that it's completely new, but yeah, we'll have to look at this and understand. So basically, again, don't say that every question is lengthy or time consuming, because here we are trying to discuss the most typical ones and unanswered ones from the forum. Not that such type of questions are asked in the exams always, right? I mean, if you look at SSC exam, the level was very easy last year. Even bank exams, SBIPO preliminary exam was very, very easy. Mains exam, of course, the difficulty level was too high, but yeah. So we're not discussing anything basic here. We're trying to discuss at least the high level questions. So I'll give you like at least a minute for this, and your time starts now. Solve this. Very interesting question. Actually, I want you guys to keep posting about your progress so that I know that you're trying it, right? Well, I understand that you have to focus to get the answer, but yeah, let me know what's happening. 10. All right, so some responses coming in here. Satish, Ashima and Shruti have got 10. Balaji, Piyush, Pankaj are trying or confused. Anupam, John Master, Amit Verma, Ashish, Pratik, all are trying. Then Ayushi Tripathi says maybe it's 15. Chandra Neeraj also thinks it is 15. And others are stuck. Rishika Menon, Tanya, Kiran are all stuck. So shall we take this up now? I think, yeah, let's solve this. So here we go. This question was posted by Shubham. It says, a group of workers can complete a certain job in 9 days. But it so happens that every alternate day, starting from the second day, 2 workers are withdrawn from the job, and every alternate day, starting from the third day, 1 worker is added to the group. In such a way, the job is finished by the time there is no worker left. If it takes the double time to finish the job now, find the number of workers who started the job, right? Find the number of workers who started the job. So interesting one. It says there is a group of workers, we don't know how many of them, who have who can complete a certain job in 9 days. So they can actually complete the job in 9 days. But what happens? Every alternate day, starting from the second day, 2 workers are withdrawn. 2 workers are withdrawn from the job. And every alternate day, starting from the third day, 1 worker is added to the group. So there's some addition and removal happening on alternate days, right? On every alternate day starting from the second day, which means second day, 4th day, 6th day, 8th day and so on, 2 workers are withdrawn. But every alternate day starting from the third day, which is 3rd day, 5th day, 7th day, 9th day, 1 worker gets added to the group. In such a way, the job is finished by the time there is no worker left. So this job gets finished by the time there's no worker left. So finally, when the day we find that there's no worker, the job is finished, right? If it takes double the time to finish the job now, understand, now it takes double time to finish the job. Earlier it took 9 days. Originally it takes 9 days. A group of workers can complete a job in 9 days. But now it takes double time. So double time, can we directly say 2 into 9, 18 days? So basically the job gets finished in 18 days, right? So it takes double the time to finish the job now. Find the number of workers who started the job. How many workers? This group of workers here, how many were there? Let's assume n. The number of workers were n. So what is n is the question here. Right, find the number of workers who started the job. So basically the job is getting over in 18 days and we start with n workers, but every day some changes happen. So let's understand this changes here, right? Like first day, second day, third day, fourth day. I mean, let's just do it this way to see. It's easy. I mean, I know it looks a little time consuming. Actually it takes some time, but very easy to crack this way. It's like one single step that you need to perform after you have understood the way additions and subtractions are happening. So these are days, day 1 to day 18, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18 days. Now we'll start with n workers on the first day. What happens? Every alternate day starting from second day, 2 workers are withdrawn. Every alternate day starting from second day, 2 workers are withdrawn. So basically, on second day, what happens? There will be n minus 2 workers. 2 workers are withdrawn. So on second day, only n minus 2 workers will work. But every alternate day starting from the third day onwards, every alternate day. So every alternate day from second day means what? 2nd, 4th, 6th, 8th, 10th, 12th, and so on. There's some change that happens. And again, every alternate day starting from third day, there's some change happens. So third day to 5th day, 5th day to 7th day, 7th day to 9th day, to 11th day, 13th day, 15th day, and 7th day, there's some change that happens. So we've got to understand this, right? Now what happens? Every alternate day starting from the third day, 1 worker is added to the group. 1 worker gets added to the group. So if on second day there are n minus 2 workers, on third day there will be n minus 1 worker. N minus 1. Understand? N minus 2 plus 1. N minus 2 plus 1. N minus 2 plus 1 makes it what? N minus 2 plus 1. N minus 1. Now fourth day minus 2. Minus 2 from what? From n minus 1. So n minus 1 is already there. Minus 2. It becomes n minus 3. N minus 3. Again, I cannot directly go to 6th day and say n minus 5 because on 5th day there is some change that happens. This becomes n minus 2. Why? 5th day 1 worker got added. Every alternate day starting from 3rd day. So basically on all the odd days, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 11th, and so on, we are adding a worker. On all the even days, we are subtracting 2 workers. We are withdrawing 2 workers. So odd days, you have to add 1. So n minus 3 becomes n minus 2. Then 6th day, it becomes n minus 4. This becomes, n minus 3, right? This is n minus 5. This is n minus 4. This is n minus 6. This is n minus 5. You understand? And this is n minus 7. This is n minus 6. This is n minus 8. Subtracting 2, minus 6, minus 2. Adding 1, n minus 7. Again subtracting 2, minus 9. Adding 1, n minus 8. Subtracting 2, n minus 10. This is what happens. Why are we stopping on 18th day? Because it takes double the time to finish the job now. So by the time the job got finished, it took double the time. So 18 days. They could originally do it in 9 days, but now 18 days. Now, this looks to be lengthy, but it might be the easiest way to solve, because you just have to now find out what is the sum of all this. That gives you the total work. See, understand, n work, what is the total work? You know that work is measured as number of people doing the work into number of days. Total work can also be measured number of people into number of days. So n workers can finish a job in 9 days. This total work can be finished by n workers in 9 days. So what is the total work? N into 9, which is equal to sum of all these. N minus 2, n minus 1, n minus 3, n minus 2, n minus 4, and so on. Why is so? On first day, n workers work. On second day, n minus 2 workers. So how much of work is over? N minus 2 into 1. See, understand, this is second day. This is not 2 days. This is second day. This is third day. This is fourth day. Here is fifth day. This is sixth day, and so on. This is not 13. N minus 6 persons will not work for 13 days. N minus 6 persons will work for 13th day. So on 13th day, n minus 6 persons work. So how much of work will they finish? N minus 6 into 1. On 14th day, n minus 8 people work. So on that one day, n minus 8 people work. So how much of work will get over? N minus 8. You getting it? So it is simply n into 1, n minus 2 into 1, n minus 1 into 1, n minus 3 into 1, n minus 2 into 1, n minus 4 into 1, n minus 3 into 1, n minus 5 into 1, n minus 4 into 1, and so on. Sum of all these will give you the total work done, which should be balanced with n minus 9. One equation, one variable you can solve. So of course, n is everywhere for all the 18 days. So 18n directly, right? N is 18 times 18n. Now we have to just take the sum of these numerical values. So 2 plus 1, 3, plus 3, 6, plus 2, 8, 12, 15, 20, 24, 30, 35, 42, 48, 56, 63, 72, 80, 90. I think we'll get 90 there. I don't see a pattern. I don't know if we can establish a pattern out of it. Minus 2, minus 1, minus 3, minus 2, minus 4, minus 3. Is there a pattern there? 2, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6, 5, 7, 6. Yeah, I mean, simple pattern is, you just add this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here it is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So sum of 1 to 8, sum of 2 to 10. I mean, if you don't want to do the addition one by one, you're able to follow. I mean, forget about 18 and anyway we've taken. You have to add all these new constants, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is the sum of first 8 terms? 8 into 9 by 2. So 8 into 9 by 2 is 4 into 9, 36. So this will give 36. Now sum of all these terms 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's like sum of first 10 terms. I mean, of course, 1 is not there, minus 1 is not there, but let's assume minus 1 is there. So minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, so on up to 10. What is the sum of first 10 terms? It will be 55. But from 55, this 1 is not there, right? So it has to be removed. It will be 54. This will give you 54. So 36 plus 54, 90. I mean, even otherwise you got 90. Solve for this. So 9n equals to 18n minus 90. So from this, what will be the value of n? 18n minus 9n, 9n equals to 90, n equals to 10. That's your answer. So 10 workers. Find the number of workers who started the job. 10 workers started the job. 10 workers have started the job. I hope all of you have followed this, right? Sorry, 1 second, hold on. Okay, hold on. There's some, technical challenges. The solution is done. I hope all of you have followed. Right. There's one more way of actually solving that question. I'll come back to that, but something's stopped here. Should I say keep or discard? Okay, you guys got to give me a couple of minutes. I'll find out what the problem is. There's some option that I've got on the screen which I don't know how to fix. Just a second. Mute, unmute. All right, sorry for this inconvenience caused. There's some technical glitch that we have got in the presentation, but it's being fixed. So I hope all of you have followed. Kiran Usha has asked a question. The total work will be 18N or 9N? Kiran, the total work will be 9N. See, we are comparing two different works here. Initially he says N workers can finish it in 9 days. So total work is N into 9. In the second case, we are saying first day N workers have worked, second day N minus 2, third day N minus 1, fourth day N minus 3, fifth day N minus 4 and so on. So there you have to take sum of all those terms that we get. Okay, but original work can be done by N persons in 9 days. Nikunj Agarwal says, before moving further, please tell how to attempt this question in the exam, because in the exam we get stuck in these questions and end up wasting a lot of time. So I think, Nikunj, first of all, I would suggest you not to attempt such questions in the exam. I mean, if it is like really new, you solve those where you have some confidence, where you think you can crack, and then come back, because it's obvious that when you're doing it doing something like that for the first time, you may find it a little difficult, right? And that confidence will not be there unless you have really tried a number of questions in the past and you're pro at it. So all I would say is, examination point of view, it is not the solution that matters. It is your ability to choose the questions that is more important, right? You must choose your questions wisely. And I'm telling you that this is where most of us fail, right? Students do not choose their questions wisely, right? And that's where they get stuck. However, for this question, there is a solving it. I mean, although we have understood this is very important to be understood. But now let me also explain that smart method of solving this question. Just give me a second. All right, so let's look at, sorry. Okay, just hold on. I want to. Yeah, so let's look at the smarter way of solving this question now. Sorry. Okay, sorry guys, I think I'm not sure why this is happening, right? I got to practice this new tool a little bit more. Okay, don't worry. Amit Kumar has mentioned that there's no sound. I was not talking to you guys. I was talking to the team that we have here because they're fixing that and the audio was on mute. But yeah, a lot of points that there's no audio. There's no audio because it was on mute. I was talking to the team here and not to you guys. Like I told you, we are trying something new from the last couple of sessions, and I'm sure this is way better than what we had been doing. But yeah, something's wrong with the software today, or with me actually. I have clicked the wrong option a couple of times already. Yeah. Okay, somebody I think had asked about repository for tougher questions. I just saw that comment that there should be repository of tougher questions. Pratik had asked it, right? So Pratik, let me tell you that all these tougher questions that we have are getting added as advanced examples in the respective topics. Like for example, the one that we've solved now is from time and work, right? So this question gets added as an advanced example in your time and work topic. So you go to the time and work topic, you'll find a lot of questions there. And this will be one of those advanced examples. It will also get added to your time and work workbook. So you can directly kind of skim through the workbook, look at these questions, try it yourself. And if you don't get the solution, then go and watch the video. Okay. So that's the point. Chalo, let's look at the other way of doing this question, right? The smarter way of solving this. Okay, so I'll share the screen again, and that's like very simple to get. See, look at this. The question has mentioned that the question also mentions that they are doing it in such a way that the job is finished by the time there is no worker left. The job is finished by the time there is no worker left, which means when there's no worker left at the end of it, right? I mean, so we can actually say that this n minus 10 should be equal to 0. N minus 10 should be equal to 0. You're able to follow? Going by that logic, right? So if n minus 10 is equal to 0, I mean, simple logic, if you don't want to do that whole calculation. But I think this concept is very important, right? What we have discussed about n into 9, initially n workers, they can finish it in 9 days, and then this different sets of people working on each day, that to be balanced to get the number of days is number of workers is very, very important, right? This concept is very important. However, one simple logic here is n minus 10 should be equal to 0, because towards the end there are no workers left, right? So n minus 10 is 0, which implies n will be equal to 10. That's another way that you can do it. All right, let us now quickly go to the next question. I think we have spent enough time here. I'll just present the next question to you all. Okay, sharing the screen again to show you the next question. And here we go. So this is a question, this was posted by Chandrahas, and this is on geometry actually. So more related to the SSC CGL exam, right? Pratik has mentioned that he has already checked those additional examples, but today's one seems different. Yeah, so these also will get added as additional examples only. So Chandra's question says, a square is inscribed in a right angle triangle. Let me just read this question out for you all. A square is inscribed in a right angle triangle with legs P and Q and has a common right angle with the triangle. The diagonal of the square is given by. So options have been given to you. You have to find out how do we get the diagonal of the square. So I'll give you like maybe a minute to try this out. Your time starts now. I hope you guys are trying this out. Please keep posting your status there so that I can understand what's happening at your end. And I see this comment from Dhaval which says, sir, in portal, the May month daily tests are not seen. Can we take older daily test or now or not? Well, Dhaval, this is a decision that we have taken that will give you only 7 days of history for your daily test. So if you have missed more than 7 days of daily test, you'll not be able to see it. You'll only see the last 7 days of daily test, right? So that's, yes, one decision taken. If you have missed it, you have missed it. Sorry about that. Anyone who's got the answer to this question? So you've got to take a right angle triangle, inscribe a square in it in such a way that the right angle of the triangle and one of the right angles of the square coincide. Got it? Option 1. Nayan, Yashwant Kumar, Amit Negi, Atish, all of you have got option 1, which says PQ by P plus 2Q. Well, that's a typical option. I was not hoping that this would be the answer. We'll have to just solve this and find out. PQ by P plus 2Q. How about others? I think everybody's got option 1. I'm surprised. Surprised, not saying that you have got wrong answer, but yeah. Yeah, so Nayan, Shomu Banerjee, Yashwant, Amit Negi, Atish, and Amit Kumar. All have got, okay, Amit Kumar has got option 3, root 2PQ by P plus Q, while others have got option 1. So shall we take this up now? I think we are already short on time, so let me start solving this question for you all. Nayan has also changed his answer now. Nayan says it should be, root over root 2 PQ by P plus Q. So let's try and solve this now. Look at this question. Now this is from geometry. It says a square is inscribed in a right angle triangle with legs P and Q and has a common right angle with the triangle. The diagonal of the square is given by. So we have to find out how do we measure the diagonal of the square which has been inscribed in a right angle triangle. The right angle triangle has the legs P and Q, right? And there is a common right angle with the triangle. The square has a common right angle. There is a common right angle between the square and the triangle. So let's draw the diagram first, right? Let's say this is the right angle triangle, right? Here's the right angle. The legs are P and Q. So obviously this is like one leg, let's say P, and this is the other one, Q, right? P and Q are the legs. Let's say the triangle is ABC, right? ABC. Now a square is inscribed. A square is inscribed in this right angle triangle, right angle triangle which has legs P and Q. So what do? We try to overlap this with a square. Let me draw the square in a different color so that's easier for us to to follow. Okay. Maybe I'll use this black color. So a square is inscribed in this. Let's say the square is like let me give some these things. A, B, C we have already used. It's like D, E, F, right? D, E, F. Now try and understand the solution. So basically ABC is a right angle triangle, right angled at B. The legs are P and Q. So BC is one leg which is like, let's say, of length P, and AB is the other leg which is of length Q. Inside this we have put a square. Now what is this square? BDEF. BDEF, right? BDF is a square. One important point to be noted is that the square which has been inscribed has got a common right angle. So that common right angle here is nothing but right angle B, right? The diagonal of the square, we have to measure the diagonal of the square, BE, right? BE is equal to what? So basically he's asking us to find out BE. How do you measure BE is the question. BE, or for that matter DF, anything there. Now what we need to observe here is the two triangles ADE and ABC, right? The triangle ABC and triangle ADE. What is common here, right? In ADE and ABC. See, very clearly angle D is also a right angle, right? I mean, clearly both are right angle triangles, where D is the right angle here, right? It is a perpendicular line, and here, since it is a square, these two are parallel. So obviously it will make a right angle. So angle D is equal to angle B, right? Angle A is equal to angle A in both the triangles, right? They've got the common angle A, and D is equal to B, right? And moreover, if you observe this, this hypotenuse that we have, the hypotenuse that we have, that also will be, similar, right? This AE is going to be similar to AC. So basically, since two of the angles are equal, the third angle is also equal. So clearly both are similar triangles. If two angles are equal, two angles are equal, A and A are equal, of course, then we have found B and D are also equal. So obviously C and E will also be equal. Angle C will be equal to angle E, right? Because it is through the same line, right? I mean, it's like two parallel lines and a transversal. If you extend DE, like this, DE and BC are like two parallel lines, and AC will be like a transversal. So angle C will be equal to angle E. So basically both are similar triangles, right? So these are similar triangles, right? Now, what do we do here? One simple observation is that since these two are similar triangles, I can say AD by AB will be equal to DE by BC. Yes or no? AD is this. AD by, in the original triangle, that is AB. Right? So AD by AB, and here DE, the base of the smaller right angle triangle, will be equal to will be proportional to the base of the larger right angle triangle BC. Now substitute the value. So AD by AB equals to DE by BC. Let's assume the side of the square is S. All the four sides are equal. Side of the square is S. So now what is AD? AD is like Q minus S. Yes or no? The total length is Q. AD can be taken as Q minus S. This is Q minus S. Right? So Q minus S divided by, what is AB? AB is going to be Q. AB is going to be Q, right? Q minus S by Q equals to DE. What is DE? DE is the side of the square, which is S, divided by BC. What is BC? BC is the leg P. Now solve for S from this one. Solve for S. What do we get? So we get PQ minus PS equals to QS. Or if you take PQ on this side and take S common there, we'll get P plus Q. So basically from this, the conclusion is the side S of the square is PQ by P plus Q. This is the side of the square. But what do we need? We don't need the side of the square. He's asking us to find the diagonal. Diagonal is either DF or BE, right? So how do we measure the diagonal? See, diagonal of a square is root 2 times its side. Diagonal here is either BE, which is equal to DF, which is equal to root 2 times S. So this will be equal to root 2 times of S, which we have found as PQ by P plus Q. Right? So root 2 times PQ by P plus Q. Option 3 would be the answer. I hope all of you have followed that, right? I mean, kind of standard question from, because there can be only one way where you can inscribe a square inside a right angle triangle, right? And if the legs are P and Q, the answer is going to be root 2 PQ by P plus Q. I mean, if you can memorize this and produce the same when it is required in the exam, you get the answer in 0 seconds. You don't have to do anything. But even otherwise, it's like simple, right? So that's about this. Can we move to the next one now? 9 says it's confusing options. Options are confusing because like PQ by P plus 2Q, PQ by 2P plus Q, 2PQ by P plus Q, root 2 PQ by P plus Q, and so on. But even if I have to make a blind guess for this question, I'll tell you. Let's say I'm solving this question when there is like last 10 seconds in the exam. I cannot do anything. By the time I produce the diagram, those 10 seconds will be gone. I mean, my, the time will get over, right? Simple is, he's asking about the diagonal, right? He's asking us to find out the length of the diagonal. And you know the diagonal has got to do with the side. Diagonal is related to the side. How is it related? Root 2 times S. Diagonal is equals to root 2 into S. So obviously, in the answer, root 2 has to be there, in all probability. The only option which has got root 2 there is option C. Of course, the root 2 can get eliminated if some way the other root 2 comes up there. Root 2 into root 2 can make it 2, but highly unlikely. So root 2 will come, and since root 2 will come, the only option that is possible there is 3. So if I am writing the exam, SSC CGL exam, and this question comes up, and let's say if I have last 10 seconds, I'll blindly mark option 3 as the answer. Not blindly, with some logic. I know that 1, 2 and 4 are unlikely. I'll mark option 3 and go to the next one. And it's not just about last 10 seconds. I think even in the middle of the exam, if I'm solving it, I would take a chance here. I'll say, chalo, let's mark 3 and see what happens. Maybe I'll mark it for review and come back if time permits. But I'll not spend all this time and drama and effort to get the answer there, right? So I hope you've got the point. So these kind of silly logic sometimes actually helps us get the answer, right? Root 2 has to be a part of the answer. Only option satisfies is option 3. Mark it. So that's about it. Can we go to the next one quickly? We're already at 7:25. We have just about 35 minutes left for the session. We've got to solve a few more interesting ones. So can we go to the next question now? Ready? Yes? No? Waiting for your responses. I know you guys must have responded, but there is a lag that we usually have in these sessions, right? Okay, Rishika has mentioned yes. Rishika, Ashish, Amit Verma, Amit Kumar, Shinu, everybody said yes. So let me present the next question to you all, which is on your screens now. Now this again is a geometry based question, right? For the SSC CGL exam. So try this now. It says P and Q are the middle points of two chords, which are not diameters, AB and AC respectively of a circle with center at the point O. The lines OP and OQ are produced to meet the circle respectively at the points R and S. T is any point of the major arc between the points R and S of the circle. If angle BAC is 32 degrees, then what is angle RTS? I hope you're trying this out. Please keep posting me about your status. Anybody who's got the answer? Options are 74, 106, 64 or 32. Quick, you have got 30 seconds more and then we'll look at the solution. Ayushu Tripathi says, where are the R and S points? Well, R and S points are on the, see, it says the lines OP and OQ are produced to meet the circle respectively at the points R and S. So when you produce OP, when you produce the line OP, it meets the circle at the point R. When you produce the line OQ, it meets the circle at the point S. And I've got the first response here from Puneet, who says it should be 32, option 4. So Puneet has got 32, waiting for a few more responses. Quick. Yashwant Kumar has got 106 and Nayan has got 74. So you've given me 3 different responses for this question, right? Nayan says 74, Yashwant has got 106, Puneet got 32 and Sushant has also got 32. 64 is the only option left, option 3. And I'm sure if I wait further, somebody will say option 3, 64 degrees. So let's not wait anymore and look at the solution now. Okay, so here we go. The question was posted by Prayas. It says P and Q are the middle points of two chords which are not the diameters, AB and AC respectively of a circle with center at the point O. The lines OP and OQ are produced to meet the circle respectively at the points R and S. T is any point on the major arc between the points R and S of the circle. T is any point on the major arc between the points R and S of the circle. If angle BAC equals to 32 degrees, angle RTS is equals to what? Now, I'm sure all of you realize the fact that you cannot solve such questions unless you draw the diagram properly. So it's very important that you draw the diagram quickly and then analyze what can be done to arrive at the answer. And that is the reason I think questions on geometry become a little time consuming, because by the time we draw the diagram, it takes like 30-40 seconds. And that too only when you actually really know what needs to be done there. Otherwise, we may end up consuming a lot of time just in drawing the diagram itself, right? So let's see, it says P and Q are the middle points of two chords AB and AC respectively of a circle with the center at point O. So let's consider a circle. Let's say this is a circle. The center is here, which is point O. And AB and AC are the two chords of the circle. So basically A is a common point, right? So both the chords are from a common point. So let's say this is point A, right? AB and AC are two chords. Let's say this is chord AB and this is chord AC. Make sure that these are not diameters, right? He has said that these are not the diameters. So you cannot draw a chord AB like this, which is passing through the center of the circle, right? Oh, okay, sorry. I think let me just redraw this. I think I've erased the circle by mistake. Yeah, so this is a circle, center is O, A, B is one chord and AC is the other one, right? Now, what does it say? The lines OP and OQ are produced. Okay, sorry, P and Q are the middle points, right? We did not consider this. P and Q are the middle points of these two chords. So for the chord AB, the middle point is P. For the chord AC, the middle point is Q. So P and Q. So the lines OP and OQ are produced to meet the circle respectively at the points R and S. So OP is produced. See this, from this line OP is produced to meet the circle at the point R. And the line OQ is produced to meet the circle at the point S. You understand? This is point P. Remember, this is point PQ. S is the point which lies on the circle. It is the extension of OQ. And R is also the point which lies on the circle. It is the extension of the line OP. Now, one important point to be noted here is that you must have learned in the basics of geometry that we have discussed that from the center of a circle, when you drop a line on the midpoint of a chord, it will make a right angle. This will be a right angle. Similarly, this also will be a right angle. These two are going to be right angles. You understand? Center of the circle is O. From the center of the circle on this chord, this is the chord AC, right? The chord is AC. The chord here is AC. On this chord AC, the midpoint is Q. So from the circle, when you draw a line joining the midpoint of the chord, it will always make a right angle. So this angle is going to be right angle. Similarly, from the center again, you are drawing a line passing to the midpoint of the chord. So at the meeting point, it will make a right angle. This is going to be a right angle, right? So both these are 90 degrees. Now next point given here is that T is any point on the major arc between the points R and S. So there is a minor arc RS and there is a major arc RS. You understand my major and minor arc, right? So T is any point on the major arc between the points R and S of the circle. So points are R and S on the circle. This is the major arc. T is any point here. Let's say T is this point on major arc R and S, right? Angle BAC is 32 degrees. Angle BAC is 32. What is BAC? BAC. This angle is 32 degrees. This angle is 32 degrees. Now, the first step in my view is that, this is a quadrilateral. What is a quadrilateral? APOS. APOS is a quadrilateral, right? And we know that total angle should be 360. Obviously, angle P, sorry, not APOS, APOQ. APOQ or APO, yeah. APOQ, sorry. APOQ is a quadrilateral. In this, P and Q are right angles. P and Q are right angles. A is 32. Total angle should be 360, right? So if this is 90 and 90, 180 is gone. This also should be 180. So O plus angle A plus angle O should be 180. I mean, I'm writing the full steps so that you can follow it easily, but you know that only sum of A and O should be 180 because P and Q are anyway making 180 already. 360. So angle A is 32, P is 90, Q also is 90. So from this, angle O comes out to be what? 180 minus 32. 180 minus 32 is 148 degrees. This is 148 degrees. Now just look at the chord RS. Look at the chord RS. RNS is like a chord, right? He's asking us to find out which angle RTS. RTS. This angle has to be found. RTS. What is this angle is the question. Now from this chord RS, the angle made at the center is 148. So the angle made at any point on the circle will be half of this angle. This is a standard theorem in geometry of circles, right? Angle made at the center is, let's say, theta. Then the angle made by the same chord on any point with any point on the circle will be half of theta, right? So we can say that angle ROS is equal to 148 degrees, implies angle RTS. T can be any point on the circle. I mean, it can be anywhere here in this major arc. So RTS will be equal to angle ROS by 2, which comes out to be 74 degrees. So option 1, 74 degrees will be the final answer. I hope all of you have followed this. Followed? Yeah, I think many of you have got 74 finally. Shomu Banerjee, Atish, Saroj Kumar, Mohit Wankhate, Priyanka Singh, Sushant Singh, Smriti Priyanka. Right? Chandra Neeraj has got some logic. He says BSc is 32, so I think RTS should be 2 times of BSc. Why? Why should it be 2 times? Don't go by such logics. What is the reason is the question. Yeah, so 74 degrees is the final answer. I hope all of you have got this. Can we move to the next one? Rishika Menon says these questions won't come in bank exams, right? Yes, these questions don't come in bank exams. These are specific to SSC exams only. And since this session today is common for both bank and SSC, we have taken this up. But I think as suggested by some of you, we will try and do exclusive sessions for SSC students on these topics, where only these kind of questions are solved, so that you don't get to just sit and look at something that is not going to come in your exam. So diagram is very important, right? If you can draw the diagram properly, of course you need to know all those basic theorems, but if you can draw the diagram clearly, properly, you'll be able to solve this without any difficulty. Can we go to the next question now? Looks like all of you have followed, right? I don't see any challenge. Let's take up the next one. So I'll present the screen now. And here we go. So here's the next question. This was posted by Sagar Singh. And there's a question on allegations and mixtures. It says there are 2 containers A and B. Container A has 40 liters of pure wine and container B has 22 liters of pure water. By the way, this question is common for both bank and SSC exams. So let's solve this now. I think the last 2 questions that we have solved, both were on geometry, which are only for banking students. So which are only for SSC students. So let's take something which is common for bank and SSC. So allegations and mixtures here, right? Let's see how many of you get the answer. Got it? 21 is to 11 and 84 is to 11. I've got two answers, and since these two answers are not matching, we'll wait for a few more responses. Sushant and Balaji are the two who have got the answers. Any more answers there? Amit Kumar has also got 84 is to 11 option. Okay, options are not there here, but yeah. So two types of answers so far: 84 is to 11 versus 21 is to 11. Shomu has got 21 is 11. So I think equal number of responses for both the answers now. Shruti has got 21 is 11. So more backup for 21 is to 11 as against 84 is to 11. Let's solve this now. I think time is running out, so we should move a little faster. Let's take it up. So this was posted by Sagar Singh, like I said. Look at the question. There are two containers A and B. Container A has 40 liters of pure wine and container B has 22 liters of pure water. Now from container A, 8 liters of wine is taken out and poured into container B. Then 6 liters of mixture of what? Wine and water from container B is taken out and poured into container A. What is the respective ratio of quantity of pure wine in container A and quantity of pure water in container B? So that's a interesting one from allegations and mixtures. See, he says there are two containers A and B. So let's say this is container A and here is container B. A has what? A has got 40 liters of wine. A has got 40 liters of wine. And B has got 22 liters of water. 22 liters of water. So these are the two items we have: 40 liters of wine in A and 20 liters of water in B. Now from container A, 8 liters of wine is taken out. See, from here we are putting 8 liters into this. 8 liters is transferred from A to B. Which means what? If 8 is transferred, this 40 will become 32. So, 40 minus 8. So 32 of wine now. 32 of wine now. And this becomes what? 22 water plus 8 wine. You understand? After the first step. Initially it was 40 wine, 22 water. But we have removed 8 liters of wine from this and poured it into B. So now we have 32 liters of wine left in container A because 8 liters has been taken there. And container B has now become a mixture of water and wine. Earlier it was only water, pure water, but now it is a mixture of water and wine. 20 liters of water as it is and 8 liters of wine which has been poured just now. Now there's one more step that's happening. After this, see, from container A, 8 liters of wine is taken out and poured into container B. Then 6 liters of mixture. This has become a mixture now. Understand, B has got a mixture of wine and water, and that the ratio is 8 is to 22 or 4 is to 11, right? So basically in container B we have got water is to wine. In what ratio? 22 is to 8, which is 11 is to 4. Right, 11 is to 4 ratio. That's the ratio we have. Now from this container, 6 liters of mixture. This has become a mixture now. 6 liters of mixture from container B is taken out and poured into container A. So what are we doing now? Now we are pouring 6 liters of mixture. This is step 1 and this is step 2. 6 liters of mixture is gone there and poured into container B. So poured into container A. Now eventually container A will also become a mixture. It already had, it currently had 32 liters of pure wine, but now we'll add 6 liters of mixture. So this mixture will go, which has some water and some wine. It will get mixed up with this 32 liters of pure wine. So finally this will also become wine and water mixture. And this already is a wine and water mixture. You understand? But the point to be noted is, in this 6 liters, how much is wine and how much is water? That's one thing that we need to establish. See, total quantity was 30 liters. Total quantity is 30 liters initially. I mean, in B, from which 6 liters has gone out. When the total quantity was 30 liters, 22 plus 8, 30 liters, the ratio was 11 is to 4. Even if you remove 6 liters, This 6 liters will be in what ratio? Same 11:4 ratio. And here balance will be how much? See, this mixture, I'm now removing it, and I'm saying that instead of 30 liters now, there is 24 liters of mixture. This is now 24 liters of mixture. You're able to follow. 22 plus 8, 30 liters of the mixture. From that, you have taken 6 liters there. So remaining is 24. And this 24 is also in same ratio, 11:4 ratio. So out of 24, how much is wine and how much is water? We can establish based on this 11:4 ratio. In the 6 liters which is being poured there, how much is wine and water? Again, same 11:4 ratio. So this is the process that has been followed. What is the question is asking us to find out? What is the value is asking us to find out? Respective ratio of quantity of pure wine in container A and quantity of pure water in container B. So pure wine in A divided by pure water in B after all this process. Now look at this. Pure wine in A. Already 32 liters of wine is there in A. So that 32 plus some more wine has come. See, 6 liters of mixture has been poured, but all this 6 liters is not wine, right? In this 6 liters, only some portion is wine. So how much is that wine? See, water is to wine ratio is 11:4, right? So out of 6 liters, how much is wine? 4 parts. You divide 6 liters into total 11 plus 4, 15 parts. In that 4 parts will be wine. So I can say 4 parts out of total how much? 11 plus 4, 15 of 6 liters. So 32 liters of original wine, pure wine, plus 4 by 15 into 6 liters of wine which has been poured from container B to container A, divided by pure water in container B. See, container B now has only 24 liters of mixture. In this 24 liters of mixture, the ratio of wine to water or water to wine is 11:4. So how much is wine, water here? He's asking us to find out water quantity, right? So 11 out of 15 parts into total 24. Simplify and you'll get the answer. So solve for this. I think 15 is LCM, right? So we can cancel 15 in both numerator and denominator here, but we'll have to first multiply 32 by 15. So this becomes 32 into 15 plus 4 into 6, 24. You're able to follow. 32 into 15 plus 4 into 6, 24 divided by 15 anyway gets cancelled here, right? 11 into 24. So 32 into 15 is how much? 32 into 15 is 480. So 480 plus 24 by 11 into 24. Simplify that and you'll get the answer. I mean, that's the ratio, final ratio. So 504 by 264. No, I think a better way. Don't add. I think 24 is common everywhere, right? So this is 24, 32 into 15 was 480. Now I'm taking 24 common. So in the denominator, 24 gets cancelled. In the numerator, in this term, 24 gets cancelled. We'll get 1. 480 by 24 is how much? 20. So we have 20 plus 1. 20 plus 1. 21 divided by 11 into 1. 11. So 21:11 is the final answer. I hope all of you have got this. So I think all those who had got 84:11, many of you said 84:11, right? What did you do? How did you get 84? How can you get 84? Anyways, it was wrong, whatever it is. Yeah. So 21:11 is the final answer. Sushant Singh says, I was wrong. I wrongly read the question. It should be 21:11. To which Amit says, yeah, same happened with me also. How is it possible that both of you read the question wrongly in the same way and arrive at the same wrong answer? Possible. In a country like India where we have, more than 1 billion people, any type of typical mistake that you commit, there will definitely be more people who have done it. You getting me? Anyways, got the answer? Shall we move to the next one? Shall we take up the next question? All right, let me quickly present the next question to you all. I think all of you have understood. It's taking a little while for me to read your responses because there's a lag here, but if there's any confusion, I'll clear it right away and then go to the next one. Amit Kumar says, we took wine of A and water of A. Your problem, you've got minus 0.25 for that. I mean, examiner will not give you half a mark just because you have read the question wrongly, right? For him, it is only one thing that matters. Have you got the right answer or not? If yes, +1. If not, -0.5, -0.25. Okay, so let me quickly present the next question to you all. Yeah? Somebody's mentioned data interpretation. Shall we take data interpretation? Arup Nayak. Okay, Arup Nayak has mentioned, please provide data interpretation based on arithmetic as asked in SBI. Yeah, so you must be aware that in the SBI PO main exam that happened recently, the data interpretation questions are asked on profit and loss, simple and compound interest, time and work, time and distance. I guess we have solved such questions in the past. But yeah, we never knew that something like this would be asked in the main exam. Otherwise, we would have refreshed those type of questions. But don't worry, we are in the process of sourcing such questions that were asked in the SBI PO main exam, and we'll take it up in our sessions that are coming up, right? I don't have anything for today, but yeah, we'll take up such questions. Now let me present the next question to you all. Here we go. This was posted by Anubha. See what it says. A piece of machinery is to be made from a closed cylinder of height 36 meters and radius 14 meters. For that purpose, 7 conical holes of radius 2 meter and height 1.5 meter and 1 hemispherical hole of radius 3.5 meter are drilled in each base of cylinder. Find the percentage increase in the total surface area of the cylinder due to these modifications. So that's an interesting one, right? Posted by Anubha. So there's a piece of machinery that has to be made from a closed cylinder, right? From a closed cylinder where the height is 36 meters and radius is 14 meters. Now, for this purpose, for the purpose of making that machinery, 7 conical holes of radius 2 meter and height 1.5 meter and 1 hemispherical hole of radius 3.5 meter are drilled in each base of the cylinder. So, find the percentage increase in the total surface area of the cylinder due to these modifications. Now, you got to visualize the diagram very properly. Otherwise, it is not gonna. It's gonna be time consuming, right? Try it out. Quick. I'm sure many of you might be wondering that how will the surface area increase when you are making holes in the base of the cylinder. When you're removing something, surface area should decrease. But no, this is different. So I want you to try it out yourself. I'm ready to explain, but give it a sincere try. Got it? Okay, Shomu has mentioned you have not taken up my question. Shomu, I am trying to take as many questions as possible. You guys just have to show me some patience. I know you've been waiting. In fact, many of you have been waiting for your turn to come, but trying to take the most typical ones. Not that what you have posted is not typical, but yeah, आपका number भी आएगा. Anyone who's got the answer to this question, I think you cannot keep quiet for such a long time, right? More than 3 minutes now. Not a single response. At least tell me if you're able to solve it, not solve it, what's happening. And I can guarantee you or assure you that if you are able to solve this question yourself, then you have got real good understanding of mensuration. And you can solve these questions, any type of question from mensuration very easily. This is a very, very interesting question in mind. Got the answer? Not able to solve. What is this? Long calculation. Okay. Unable to solve. Tanya says she has understood it, but she's on the calculations. Good. Satish did not understand. Naveen did not understand. Rishika Menon. Amit Verma says no idea. Omar Toshif is struck. Saroj Kumar is not able to solve. And I'm thinking I should have some props for you to explain this on the video, right? Because drawing a diagram to explain this is going to be a little difficult. So I've got the first couple of answers here. Puneet, who says it is 0.75%, just 0.75%. On the other hand, we have Manoja, who's got 31.5%. There's no comparison. I mean, no way close to each other. 0.75 versus 31.5. Huge difference. (38.39). Shmiti Priyanka has got 38.39%. Ayushi and Srinu have not got it. Alright, so I think a very interesting question. Let me quickly come over the video and explain what's happening here, right? I hope all of you have understood the question, or looks like not you have not understood the question, but let me take it up now. So here we go. This question was posted by Anubha. See what it says. A piece of machinery is to be made from a closed cylinder of height 36 meters and radius 14 meters. For that purpose, 7 conical holes of radius 2 meter and height 1.5 meter and 1 hemispherical hole of radius 3.5 meter are drilled in each base of the cylinder. Find the percentage increase in the total surface area of the cylinder due to these modifications. Understand the question properly. A piece of machinery is to be made from a closed cylinder. So there is a closed cylinder that we have, height of which is 36 meters and the radius is 14 meters. For that purpose, 7 conical holes of radius 2 meters and height 1.5 meters. You understand what a conical hole? A hole is like a simple hole, but a conical hole will be in the shape of a cone. So 7 conical holes, count is 7, right? 7 such holes of radius 2 meter and height 1.5 meter are made. And 1 hemispherical hole. What is a hemispherical hole? Hemisphere is half of a sphere, right? It's like half sphere. So 1 hemispherical hole of radius 3.5 meter are drilled in each base of the cylinder. See, the cylinder will have 2 bases, right? On each base of the cylinder, 7 conical holes and 1 hemispherical hole are made. Dimensions have been given to us. What we have to find out here is the percentage increase in the total surface area of the cylinder due to these modifications. What will be the percentage increase in the total surface area of the cylinder due to these modifications? So I think a very interesting question. It can be asked in both bank or SSC exams, right? So let's discuss the solution now. Important points to be noted. We are trying to make a piece of machinery from a closed cylinder. So there is a cylinder that we have. Originally we have a cylinder, height is 36 meters and the radius is 14 meters. Now for that purpose, which purpose? For this purpose of making the machinery, right? The purpose is to make a machinery. We have made 7 conical holes. 7 conical holes. The radius is 2 meter, height is 1.5 meter. And we have made 1 hemispherical hole. The radius is 3.5 meter. On each base of the cylinder. Important, each base on both the sides of the cylinder. We have to find the percentage increase in the total surface area of the cylinder due to these modifications. What will be the percentage increase in the total surface area due to this modifications? What modifications? Modifications are nothing but the 7 conical holes and the hemispherical hole that we have made, right? Now you got to understand one thing. I mean, I'll probably draw a lot of diagrams for you to make the explanation clear, and then the calculation part needs to be done. I'm very clear that this is not going to be a very easy one to solve if you find it difficult to visualize the diagram, right? So try to focus on that. We have got a cylinder. We've got a cylinder. This is a cylinder. The height is 36 meters. Height here is 36 meters, right? Height is 36 meters and the radius is 14 meters. The radius is 14 meters. So here's the radius, let's say. The radius is 14 meters. Right? So we've been given the height and radius of the cylinder. Now, so we are trying to make a machinery out of this. We are making a piece of machinery from this. For that purpose, we are making conical holes. Now understand, the question is about total surface area. What do you mean by total surface area? Total surface area of a cylinder. Now, if I have to find out the total surface area of the cylinder, what is total surface area of a cylinder? See, sum of the surface area of the base plus this base plus the lateral surface area. This is like a circular box, right? So total surface area for the cylinder would be what? Total surface area of the cylinder is 2 pi r square plus 2 pi rh. I mean, I'm not getting into the basics of why this is the formula. All that has been discussed. Let us just understand that the formula is 2 pi r into r plus h. The total surface area is 2 pi r into r plus h, where r and h have been given to us, 36 and 14. So we have to find out how much will this total surface area increase if some modifications are done. Now, what are the modifications we are doing? We are making conical holes and hemispherical hole on each base. So let's take this. This is the base, right? This is the base of the circle. So I'm going to show you a larger view of the base now, right? I'm just trying to draw a larger base so that you understand. So let's say this is the base. I mean, this is the same cylinder with a bigger this thing so that I can explain to you. Now, on this base, on top, there is a base, right? We are making conical holes. Now, how will a conical hole look like? You know what a cone looks like, right? A cone is like this. A conical hole will be like this. How will a hemispherical hole look like? Hemispherical hole. You understand? So basically, if I go and check the top of this top view, try to look at the top view, right? From top, if you try to check the cylinder, right, you will find that there are 7 such conical holes. So which means there will be a hole like this here, and inside the hole the shape is going to be like that of a cone. You understand? 7 such holes. I mean 4, 5, 6, 7, let's say. And then there will be only one, right? 7 and 1 hemispherical hole. So there will be like a hole here, and when you look at it, inside it will be like a hemisphere. You understand? So when you look at, so total there are 8 holes. Altogether there will be 8 holes. Altogether there are going to be 8 holes, 7 of which will be conical, and 1 is going to be a hemisphere or a semisphere, whatever you call it, right? You understand? So this is like these circles that you see on top, right? This will perfectly map with the what is this called, the base of the cylinder. The inside of that will be like this. So if I actually have to show you the top view, it is going to be like this. And the top view will be like this. Let's say the top view. I mean, this top view, and this was not the top view actually. This was the front view, right? Strictly speaking, what I showed you there was the front view. I'm doing all this drama because unless you understand the diagram, you cannot solve this, right? So that is the reason I'm drawing all these diagrams. But I could visualize it, and if I can visualize, then I'll be able to solve easily. So this is the top view. This is the top view. So this is like the base of the cylinder, this base. For this one, I'm showing the top view, right? This is the base of the cylinder, right? So on that top view, if you see, there will be 8 holes. Right? And inside of this hole, I mean, when you try to visualize, 7 will be like in conical shape. And 1 will be like a hemisphere. You getting it? So this is like drilled inside, right? Drilled inside. Now the question was, when you are removing something, how will there be an increase? He's asking us to find out the percentage increase in the total surface area. How will it increase? Find the increase in the total surface area of the cylinder. See, why will the total surface area increase? You have actually made holes. Total surface area of the cylinder, when you said 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h. What is this 2 pi r square? Pi r square is the base. Pi r square here is another base. It's like a circle, right? This circle. So area of the circle is pi r square. So 2 such circles. So 2 pi r square. Plus area of this lateral surface is 2 pi r h. You're making holes on these surfaces. When you're making holes, the area will come down. But he's asking us to find out the increase in the total surface area. Why will the area increase? Try and understand. The area will increase because while this top portion gets eliminated, inside you will get some more area. See, total surface area, that will also become like a surface. You understand? It will become like a surface. It is like deep inside, and that's like surface, right? You can pour something inside that. You understand? So while these circles will cut out, I mean, I'll show you in red. What I'm showing you in red will cut out. You know, these are removed. All these things are removed. All these 7 are removed. So minus that. But what is getting added? What I'm going to show you in green is getting added. This is getting added. A hole is actually making a circle on the surface, but in the process it is adding something on the surface. What is it adding? It is adding these green sections. You understand? This will be the hole. The top part will be the hole. So this green things. You're able to follow? See, try to visualize this one. This green is getting added. Similarly, this green is getting added. What is getting removed is the red thing there again. This will be removed from the total surface area of the cylinder. But in that removal, this will get added. And if you observe, what is actually getting added here is nothing but the what is getting added here. If you observe, this green section here is the lateral surface area of the cone. This is getting added. This is the addition, and this is the LSA of the hemisphere. You're able to follow. So to the total surface area, to the total surface area of the cylinder, which is this 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h, or 2 pi r into r plus h, we have to from that we'll have to remove these reds and we'll have to add these greens. So the greens are lateral surface area of the cone and the lateral surface area of the hemisphere. What is removed? The reds. The reds are nothing but the this is like circle. All the reds are like circle. So this is like circle, base of hemisphere, and this also like base of hemisphere. Base of the base of what? This is a cone. So these things have to be removed and those have to be added. You understand? I mean, what all I've done on paper so far is just the visualization of the diagram. You are not going to spend so much time in the exam. You will not be drawing these diagrams, right? I mean, if you can visualize, then you can start doing the calculations. Are you able to follow? If you can visualize, then you will be able to do the calculations easily. So all that needs to be done to arrive at the final answer. Of course, if options were given, maybe some approximation we could have done, approximate calculation could have been done, but since options are not given, we'll have to do the complete calculation. So now I will start the real solution. I mean, this is just the understanding of the diagram there. I'll start the real solution. And also remember that this thing, whatever we have discussed, will happen on both the sides, on both the bases, on the top as well as at the bottom of the cylinder, right? On each base, he said. On each base, this has to be done. So what we will do now is, let us find out the change in the area. How much is the change in the area? So what will we remove? From the total surface area of the cylinder, we'll remove these things. All the reds will be removed. It will become like a gap there, right? So that has to be subtracted. What will get added is the green portion. What will get added is the green portion. You're able to follow? You have to imagine, easier way to imagine this is like, let's assume there is a cube. I mean, I'm just explaining you how to imagine, right? Let's assume there is a cube. This is a cube, let's say. Well, it doesn't look like one, let's assume, right? Imagine that is like cube. Now from this cube, from one of the corners, a smaller cube is cut off. A smaller cube is cut off. So let me show you what happens. Let's assume we have cut off a cube, a smaller cube from the corner. You understand? This cube has been cut off. So basically you cut it off. This section, I mean, this shaded portion is cut off. Doesn't mean that when you have cut it off, the total surface area will reduce. The total surface area may increase also. Because if you imagine what happens after that, the cube will become like this. I mean, I'll just clear that, erase that. Oh, this is the problem. I have erased the whole thing. But yeah, how will it look like? Just try and understand after that removal. It was like this, right? It will have a gap now. I mean, this is the original cube, let's say. It will become like this. I mean, it's hard to draw. I think I should not try out my drawing skills here. But the point is, yeah, if you visualize, it is something like this. You understand? So this is like a cut. This has been cut out. While this has been cut out, inside it will form more surfaces. The moment it forms more surfaces, you will get more surface area, right? Chalo, let me clear this and solve this question now. So basically, if you have understood the overall diagram now, all we need to do is, from this total surface area, we have to subtract what? We have to subtract all those 7 bases of cones and 1 base of hemisphere. In fact, we'll have to double it because it is being done on 2 sides, right? So simple calculation is that, this is the real original, right? Original area. How much will that be? Shall I clear this diagram now? I think now that you've understood, let me clear the diagram because sorry. Where is it gone? Just a second. Yeah, I think I'll clear the diagram now because this space anyway won't be sufficient. So I'm just clearing this part. Okay, let me use this space to do the calculation. So here's the new surface area, neutral surface area of the cylinder. Or let me directly find out the change. That will help us, right? Instead of finding out the neutral surface area, see, he's asking us to find out the percentage increase. Percentage increase is nothing but increment divided by original value. Original value is this. This is the original total surface area. Original total surface area. Let me do the calculation by the way here. So this will be 2 into 22 by 7 into original radius is how much? 14 into r plus h, 14 plus 36. So 7 goes 2 times here. 2 into 22, 44 into 2, 88. 88 into 14 plus 36 is 50. Let's keep it as 88 into 50. Maybe these kind of common values will be there in this change also. We can do this. So this is whatever cubic units, no, sorry, square units. Right? At least conversions are not needed because everything is given in meters. Now let us find out the change. Instead of finding out the new total surface area, let me find out the change. That will help us get the answer faster, because new total surface area would only mean original surface area minus the plus or minus the changes, right? So let's find out the change in the surface area. So change in the total surface area, right? What are we going to do? Plus 14 LSAs of cone plus 2 LSAs of hemispheres minus 14 bases of cone minus 2 bases of hemisphere. Why all this? Why 14? Because see, 7 on each side, each base, 7 into 2, 14. So 14 lateral surface areas of cone and one hemispherical hole on each side, right? So it becomes 2. So 2 lateral surface area of hemisphere. That's what it will, right? Red parts are removed. So bases of cone, bases of hemisphere are to be removed. So 14 bases of cone, 2 bases of hemisphere to be removed. Greens are added. Lateral surface area of cone and lateral surface area of hemisphere are to be added. Right? I think done. Now it's only about calculation. Now it's just about calculation. This is the base of the hemisphere. Okay, so let me do the calculation. This change will be equal to what? I think again I've eaten up too much of space here, but let me do the change directly. So change will be equal to 14 lateral surface area of a cone, right? Lateral surface area of a cone is how much? Pi RL. I'm not discussing all the formula and all. I'm sure you know the formula, right? Lateral surface area of a cone will be, I think, pi RL, yeah? Pi RL. So pi into R. So pi is 22 by 7 into radius of cone. So what is the radius of the cone given here? 2 into pi RL. Now understand, L in a cone is what? The slant length of a cone is root over R square plus H square. So it will be root over R is how much? 2 square plus H is 1.5 square. How much will this be? I mean, these are the changes that we have to do, right? What is this value? This is another box. I mean, pieces of calculations that we are doing. So 2 square 4, 1.5 square is 2.25. 4 plus 2.25, 6.25. Square root of 6.25 is 2.5, right? 2.5. So this comes out to be 2.5. Yeah, this is equal to 2.5. So 14 times of 14 lateral surface area, right? 14 into pi RL, pi into R into L. L is 2.5 plus. So this is one portion plus 2 lateral surface area of hemisphere. What is lateral surface area of hemisphere? I think, see, total surface area of a hemisphere is, how will you do this? Lateral surface area of a hemisphere is, actually it should be Oh, am I? Hold on. Let me just visualize this. Are we doing the right thing? Yeah, I think it's right. The point is latest surface area of hemisphere. What is latest surface area of hemisphere? 4 pi r square is the total surface area of a sphere. So for a hemisphere, it is going to be half of it. 2 pi r square plus pi r square, 3 pi r square. Yeah, I think you got to understand this thing. We can save some time here. Let me highlight. This 2 lateral surface area of hemisphere plus 2 and minus 2 bases of hemisphere can be calculated like this. I am just showing you the calculation here, right? Look at this. See, lateral surface area of a hemisphere. Where do I do? I don't have space. Lateral surface area of a hemisphere, LSA of a hemisphere is equal to half of 4 pi r square, right? So that will be 2 pi r square plus 1 full circle. So pi r square, 3 pi r square, right? And base of a hemisphere. Base of hemisphere is anyway pi r square, right? Circle, which is equal to pi r square. Now basically you have to do plus 3 pi r square. Since we are adding the lateral surface area and subtracting the base, it will be plus 3 pi r square and this will be minus pi r square. So the total will be what? Plus 3 pi r square minus pi r square will give you what? 2 pi r square for each hemisphere. So 2 times of 2 pi r square. You understand? I'll highlight this. So basically whatever has been highlighted there in yellow, the calculation is here. So we can reduce a few steps. You're able to follow. So for each hemisphere, we should take plus 3 pi r square minus pi r square, which is 2 pi r square. And there are 2 such hemispheres, right? So 2 times of 2 pi r square. So 2 into 22 by 7 into r square. What is radius of this hemisphere? 3.5. I'll highlight this also in yellow so that you can connect all this highlighted part is the calculation. Of course, into square, right? Into 3.5 once again. Sorry about this lengthy solution, but there's no way out. You have to do this. Right? 2 into this calculation, 2 pi r square. Two pi r square. Yeah. So done. And minus 14 bases of cone. Minus 14 bases of cone. What is base of a cone? Pi r square, of course. So minus 14 into pi, 22 by 7 into r square. What is radius of the cone? Radius of the cone is given as what is the radius of the cone? Sorry, conical hole radius is 2. Yeah, radius of the cone is 2. 14 bases, right? So 14 pi r square. Pi r square. 2 into 2. I'll do one thing. I'll use some other highlighters also so that you understand what portion is what. Let me use a purple color. So 14, I don't know how the color would change. 14 LSAs of the cone. That calculation is this. I should have used a lighter color. I'm sorry about this, but yeah. And then 14 bases of the cone. Yeah, let me use this. 14 bases of the cone. That calculation is this. So these 3 things have to be taken care of. Oh, finally. Now do this calculation here. I think. So what happens here? This is equal to overall. 7 gets cancelled twice. Here also 7. I think 2 into 3.5 is 7. So this and this gets cancelled. And here 7 goes twice. So we have, what is this first part? 2 into 22 into 2. 2 into 22, 44 into 2, 88. 88 into 2.5. plus, right, how much is this? 2 into 22, 44. 44 into 3.5. Minus, how much is this? 2 into 22, 44. 44 into 2, 88. 88 into 2. Oh, sorry. Where are we? Yeah. So here's the change. This is the change. Now do that calculation. So I think this can be taken as, I mean, if you take 44 common here, 44 into 5, yes or no? I'm doing the calculation mentally because I don't have space. I'll write the final value here, right? I think better I write final value in terms of 88. Let's see, 88 or 44 at least. So this is like 44 into 2 into 2.5. So 44 into 5 plus 44 into 3.5. That will give you 44 into 8.5 minus 44 into 4, right? I repeat, 88 into 2.5 is 44 into 5 plus 44 into 3.5. 44 into 5 plus 44 into 3.5 is 44 into 8.5 minus, this is 44 into 4. So 44, if you take common, 8.5 minus 4, 4.5. So 44 into 4.5. Final is going to be 44 into 4.5. Oh, sorry about this. Yeah, that's it. So this is the change finally. Let me highlight this also so that you can understand overall. Which color should I use? I don't have enough choices here, but let me try this. So the change in the total surface area is equal to 44 into 4.5. Now what is he asking us to find out finally? The last step. Find out the percentage increase in the total surface area. So percentage increase in the total surface area is this. See, we've got a positive value. That means the total surface area has actually increased, right? So 44 into 4.5 is the increment. So percentage increase is increment by original value. Original value is 88 into 50. So 44 into 4.5 divided by 88 into 50 into 100. X is what percent of y? X by y into 100, or percentage change, right? Percentage change is change by initial value into 100. Change by initial value into 100. So what I'll do is I'll erase one more section here so that I can explain this to you, right? I'm clearing this diagram, right? This diagram, or maybe I can clear this diagram. Final step I can do here, because this is just a regular cylinder. Why is the eraser not working? Yeah, working. Chalo, so finally the last step, I think, right? Percentage change will be equal to change by original in 100. So what is the change? 44 into 4.5. Divided by original 88 into 50. Into 100. So do the calculation now. I think 44 goes 2 times. 2 into 50 gets cancelled with 100. We are left with 4.5%. I think that's the final answer, 4.5%. So the change in the surface area because of all this drama that we have done comes out to be 4.5%. Yes, done finally. So I think a long explanation. In my view, if this happens in your head, all that, see, the actual calculation is only about the original total surface area, which is very easy to do, and the change. Change, again, you got to understand that 14 times of lateral surface area of cone, 2 times of lateral surface area of a hemisphere, minus 14 times of base of cone, minus 2 times of base of hemisphere. I mean 4 parts. Each part would take about 15 seconds, let's say. And then add all those. That will give you the total change. Total change by original value into 100 will give you the final answer. I'm sure this will take 2 minutes. I'm not saying that you can solve it in 1 minute or 45 seconds. It will take at least 2 minutes. But if you avoid putting every step on paper, you will be able to save time. I mean, it will take 2 minutes if you avoid putting all these diagrams and steps on paper. If you want to draw everything and visualize, then it's going to be real complex, right? So I think the whole idea here is to understand the fact that if there is a cylinder and when you make a hole inside it, it's like this. I think I have got a right object to show you, right? Like this is a water bottle, I mean, of course, this has got some shape here, but let's assume it's like a regular cylinder, right? Regular cylinder with top as a circle and base also as a circle. Now, usually, you know, in a bottle or a cup or a mug, there is this hole-like thing at the base, right? Right? It's like a hemispherical hole. Now, if you actually observe, this is like a hemispherical hole where it is like pushed inside from the base, right? A little bit pushed inside from the base. Or usually when you see some typical cups also have this kind of a base, right? Now, original total surface area of this bottle would have been what? The top surface area, which is circle, the base, which is a circle, and this later surface area, which is 2 pi r into h. But because this has been pushed inside, will the total surface area increase or decrease? It will increase. The top remains as it is. Later surface area also remains as it is. But base is like a hemispherical hole that we have done. Now, in this hemispherical hole, when you do, while the flat portion is removed, so that has to be removed. That's what we have done, right? Minus the base of the hemisphere. Why did we do that? Minus the base of the hemisphere, because that flat portion is gone, right? The circle is gone. Instead, a cup-like thing has come up, right? Inverted cup-like thing has come up, which is like the lateral surface area of the hemisphere. Similarly, if you, let's say, make a conical hole, right? A conical hole. I mean, what example should I give you? I don't recall anything, but you know, like in the cylinder, let's say conical hole is made. So what happens? It will be like a cone inside, right? You can actually, you know, feel that this conical in shape, right, in the base. So there also what happens? The circle is gone. So from the total surface area, you have to remove the circle. But another surface inside has been formed, right? Inside is not inside the bottle, but from the base you can just feel that it will be like a cone. And that is only the lateral surface area of the cone, because the cone's base also is not available, right? So that has to be removed. So that you remove and you get the answer, right? So I think this is what has happened here. I'm not sure if we have done some, I mean, I'm assuming the calculation and all is correct, right? And the formula that we have used is correct. I mean, unless you know the formula, you'll not be able to solve these questions. But just knowing the formula again is not going to help you. You should be able to visualize the diagram and try it. Okay. So let me look at the reaction now. Did you all follow this? Okay, some of you mentioned that something is wrong. LSA 3 pi square is wrong there. LSA 3 pi square is wrong for hemisphere. I thought for a hemisphere the lateral. Oh, I'm sorry. The lateral surface area of a hemisphere will only be 2 pi r square. I was considering the total surface area. Sorry. Also, we got to do the calculation again. Why did I take 3 pi square? Yeah, I was doing the total surface area calculation for some reason. Lateral surface area of a hemisphere is 2 pi r square. I added the base. It became 3 pi r square. Okay, so quick change. I think I'll share the screen again and do these changes. Just one more minute. Let's see what happens in the calculation. Sorry about this, and thanks for pointing it out. I think a blunder. Let me quickly rectify this. So that's what I'm telling, right? If you do not know the formula, then it's going to be difficult. So there's a change here, guys. The lateral surface area of a hemisphere is not 3 pi r square. It is 2 pi r square. This is the total surface area. I took the total surface area by mistake. So let me show you the changes here. Right, lateral surface area of a hemisphere is 2 pi r square minus this pi r square. So 2 pi r square minus pi r square will give you pi r square. Finally, it will be pi r square. Right? Sorry. Yeah. So where else will we have changes? Sorry about this. Lateral surface area of a hemisphere 2 times of this one, this yellow portion, right? I think we had combined these two. Let me do the highlighting again so that it's in the same fashion, right? So 2 pi r square minus pi r square will give you pi r square. Sorry about this error ending it. Now this was that section, right? So instead of 2 pi r square, it should be only pi r square. 1 pi r square. So that, 2, because there are two such hemispheres, 2 into 1 pi r square. Yeah. So I'll highlight this again. Now check the calculation. Of course, the calculation is wrong. We have to rectify that. So yeah, it becomes, instead of 2 into 22, it was 44. It becomes 22 now. So finally, what will it be? 88 into 2.5, 22 into 3.5. So this is like 22 into 10, and this is 22 into 3.5. So 22 into 13.5. Yeah. 88 into 2.5 plus 22 into 3.5. So this is like 22 into 4 into 2.5. 22 into 10 plus 22 into 13.5. Minus 22 into 4. Yeah. So final answer here. Yeah, so 22 into 10 plus 22 into 3.5 minus 22 into 8. So 10 plus 3.5, 13.5, 13.5 minus 8. 13.5 minus 8 will be 5.5. So this will be 22 into 5.5. Okay, and this is the overall change. Again, I'll highlight using the right color so that you understand. We are talking about the change, right? So the change in total surface area. Change in total surface area is this, 22 into 5.5. Now this value has to go there. So again, I'll have to clear this also. And let me clear the answer also, because anyway it is wrong. Yeah. So what happens? 22 into 5.5 is a change. Divided by total is 88 into 50 into 100. So this goes 4 times. And this will be like 2 times 5.5 into 2, 11, 11 by 4, or 5.5 by 2. 5.5 by 2 is 2.75. 2.75. 2.75 percentage, right? 2.75 percentage. Yes. So the final change is going to be 2.75%. There will be no correction. Don't tell me. I'm not going to change it back. No, I think there will be correction. Or did we assume something else? Why there will be no correction? Rudra Aditya Mohanty, why are you saying there is no correction? I think there is correction. There was a correction needed. Puneet and Anil Saini were right. It should not be 3 pi r square. It should be 2 pi r square. I think I was trying to visualize the total surface area, so I said 2 pi r square of this plus pi r square of base makes it 3 pi r square. But that base is anyway not needed, right? Or we should have taken 3 pi r square minus. Hold on. Two pi r square is what we feel inside, minus pi r square. I think correct. 1 pi r square. Yeah, so this is done. The answer should be 2.75%. Now quickly react so that, even if you say you have not followed, I will not explain it again. You just have to wait for this session to get added to your account, to your learning account, and from where you can follow it up. If you still think there is a problem or you're not able to follow it, we may take it again in a next session, but looks like it's time now that you visualize the whole thing again and try to do it yourself. Maybe you end up finding a better way of doing the calculation, but ultimately it should lead to 2.75% change. Done? I think we'll close the session now. It's already 8:45. This question has actually took way too longer than what I had assumed, but Never mind. A very interesting question. We should all thank Anubha for posting this one. And like I said, if you can solve this, right? See, visualization is important. I mean, calculation error, of course, I made one error there, or maybe in calculation also sometimes you go wrong, but I mean, avoid those type, I mean, forget about those type of errors. If your visualization about the whole problem is correct, if you know what needs to be done, then I think you are like a pro in mensuration, right? And this is a very important topic when it comes to bank exams and SSC exams also. So, Nikunj Agarwal says, I've got 2.63%. 2.63? Well, then you'll have to just check the calculation again, right? Check my calculation, your calculation, and I'm sure you'll find where the gap is. Yeah? Followed? Yes, Balaji has confirmed that he has followed, and so has Naveen. And Nayan has also understood it. So I think we'll close it here. It's 8:45 already. I wish I could have done it faster and avoided wastage of our time by doing it right the first time, but apologies for that. Anyways, we'll meet again. Like I said, we are also planning for some extra sessions for the SSC CGL students. So I'm sure we'll be able to take up more questions through those extra sessions. But then it's all about practice. I mean, the more you practice, the easier it gets. So my only advice to you all is to get your basics right, go through all the videos, understand all the concepts, and keep practicing, right? And especially when it comes to quantitative aptitude, be it bank or SSC exams, the key lies in the way you do your calculations. The faster you do your calculations, the faster you get the answer, right? The more you put on paper, the more time it takes. So cut down on the number of steps, try to keep it simple, and get the answers as quickly as possible. I think spend at least half an hour, 45 minutes every day till your SSC CGL exam or your bank exam or any competitive exam that you're going to take up. And I'm sure you will find a great change in yourself, right? So keep practicing, especially on your calculations. And I'm sure with this daily speed math test that we're adding, it should help you also ratify your calculation ability, right? I mean, you practice every day, then you take a test of those 10, 15, 20 questions that have been asked. It will help you know if you're going in the right direction or not. And like I had mentioned in the last session as well, we are planning to do some more value additions to your course, which will enhance your learning experience and make it even more efficient, right? So just give us some time, and I'm sure all these changes will, add great value to the product and to your preparation. So that's all from my end. Thank you once again for joining us. Like I said, Saturday evening, 8:45, seeing you guys sitting in a live session is really very motivating. I'm sure this would not be the case if it is Sunday, especially tomorrow, because there's an India-South Africa match, which all of us are going to watch. Watch that. Watching match, if you follow cricket, is important because that lightens up your mood. You get to do something other than preparation, and that actually, forms like a good break for you, right? Yeah, so do watch the match, support Team India, and I'm sure we will do better tomorrow, and we all also will do better with each passing day, and achieve success in your exam there, be it SSC exams or the bank exams. On that note, let me close it here. Thank you once again for joining us, and I'll see you all in the next session. Until then, keep practicing and take very good care of yourselves. See you. Okay, bye, good night, take care.